Dear students and parents, welcome to our channel and welcome to this live session exclusively with the Dean of Orenburg State Medical University. And we have with us our Vice Chairman, Air Marshal Dr. Pawan Kapoor, sir, to take this webinar ahead. So we request our Vice Chairman, sir, to please introduce the Dean. Sir.
Thank you, Priya. Good evening, dear parents, dear students, and all those who have joined us for today's live session. It is my proud privilege to introduce Professor Anton Varshnov to all of you. He is the Dean of Edinburgh State Medical University. I think a very well-renowned figure in India by now, after having visited us so many times and been to various Russian education fairs. So we welcome you, sir, on this webinar. Dear friends, dear students, dear parents, Professor Anton is not alien to us. He's very much a part of us. He has been an academician of international repute. He has taken online classes for several universities during COVID times, and we are very grateful to him for that. He shares his knowledge with all his students. He is a practitioner of a lot of reputation, and also he's also a dean with a slightly more stricter reputation than the former two. Okay, so he takes a lot of interest in the academics, but he is strict with the students, and that is what is important because he inculcates discipline amongst them. Today, we'll be discussing a very unique subject, and that relates to safety in Russia. I will not comment more upon it because I know that I might be biased in my comment. I am speaking from India, but Professor Anton is in Russia, and he will tell us about safety issues, especially in relation to the latest happenings in Russia, which have been variously reported in the media, and sometimes they try to instill fear into the minds of parents and students. So he will try to clarify that issue and the current situation there. And Dr. Anton, thank you for being with us, and I request you to brief among the safety issues, keeping in light the recent happenings and other safety issues which you think are relevant to the students and which will probably remove or allay the apprehensions of our dear parents. Over to you, Professor Anton.
Thank you, Dr. Pawan. Thank you for your introducing. When I listen to you, I start thinking this is really about me. Okay, this is a small joke. One correction, I'm associate professor of two departments, Department of Clinical Medicine and Department of Internal Medicine, one for foreign students, mostly this is students from Republic of India. And another department, this is department for doctors. That's why really, as you, Dr. Pawan, not only Air Marshal, he's a very good clinician. You need to know about this. We spoke many times about different clinical problems, and he's very skilled in this material. Okay, let's come closer to our today topic. This is safety. And from one side, you can think about this Russian Federation is safety for you because of world situation, because of politics. This is first point from which we can speak today about this. From other point, studying abroad, education abroad, this is safety for you or no? And this is from second part. This is question not only about Russian Federation. This is question of all countries in which you will go. And from this point, you need to calculate all material to go inside of real situation in the country by different points about which I will try to help you. And you need to look. Okay, from first thing, special military operation, yes, it's going on. It's going on. In our country, we don't have any military actions. This is real true. Our city, I need to tell you, this is city and the border between Kazakhstan, another country, and Russian Federation. This is border city and border region. All this time, all this 1 year and a few months, it was calm in our city, calm in our region, and all our students at the starting, it was, I can understand, big afraiding of parents because of this situation which happened. And without me, students start to record videos, send them to parents, and we understood that we need to organize meeting together with parents. It was meeting of our rector, Professor Mirsnichenko Igor Vasilievich, me, together with parents. They asked their questions, and we try to answer on these questions, but not only by words, but we collect videos with students, record on the streets, on the classes, in their hostels, how they live, how they study, how their day-to-day is going. And after this, no questions from parents was asking one more time. They disappeared. They understood that really, and students not actors, you need to understand. It's impossible to show false emotions, which are not true. That's why by this side, everything is good. And one thing more, you need to understand that if something can hurt our students, we are the first person, I mean university and administration of university, who want to save the student, not only because our students is our reputation, but this is true too. Student, this is reputation. Their life, their success, this is reputation of university. And we work on success of our students too during education. But by humanity rules, we're trying to save our students in all cases. That's why if something will be which are not safe, we will be the first who will tell this. Okay, from this point we finished. From second, education abroad. And here not everything is so easy for understanding because this is big collection of different factors. And let's start to understand. First of all, this is another country with another climate in which you will come. You know, if you will look at the world map, Russian Federation is very big. From the north up to the south, from the east up to the west. And in our country, we have different regions with different climate. And Orenburg is one of the regions which at summer is near India. For example, a few weeks ago, it was near 38 degrees upper zero. This is near India. As I remember, one time when I was in India, we went to Taj Mahal and there was 33 degrees. But it was easy for us, for my colleagues who came from Orenburg region, because, as I told, our summer sometimes near temperature in India. But winter is cold. Winter is cold, and your daughters, your sons need to be ready, that they need to have warm clothes, that at winter climate is extremely minus. But we're trying to look for our students. At the starting, when students will come to our city, to our university, we will divide them into groups. We will give tutor for this group. It will be not student as in many countries, because you know in Europe they giving tutors students for some mental work. We give tutor teacher, and this is teachers of Russian language department. This is women's. Mostly they are already mothers. They have childs. They know how to help to child and so on. That's why. And this is adult person who can understand that going to outside from the hostel without warm clothes, this is bad, and he will tell. If student is a tutor, maybe he will look, and he will think something but not tell anything. This is about climate. Winter is really cold in our country. But in our region, summer is very hot, and our students like the summer very much. But at winter, I can tell you from second winter in Russian Federation, they liked it. They liked to make competitions in winter sport activities. And they like to make photos in summer dress, but near the snow. I think this is one of the mostly popular photo of Indian student which we're making during education. Next, this is medical help, about which you need to think. This is your medical safety, because you will come here because of different climate or because of some situation. For example, appendicitis, yes, it can happen everywhere, at your home, at other countries when you're traveling as a tourist, and so on. What help you will get, how you will get it, how quickly it will be, how comfortable everything will be for you, and so on. For example, you will choose some university which don't have its own clinic. From this moment, I think you will start thinking it's bad if university don't have its clinic. Yes, we have our own clinic. In our own clinic, we have English-speaking doctor and medical sister who are English speaker. All our students can come to the clinic and ask for medical help when they need it. And for all the medical documents, this is another needful thing. Because if you will miss classes, you need to show something. If you have a reason of this missing. In our clinic, if you have medical issue, you can get medical documents which you need. You can show to faculty. Next, during these 10 years, at next autumn, 2023, in October, November, we will celebrate 10 years of working on the faculty. 10 years. During these 10 years, we made very big work with hospitals of our city. Because different situations was paraproctitis, appendicitis, cholecystitis. I tell you about acute surgical pathology. And all students got medical help, which are needful for them, and came back home after education. Very often anemia, because many vegetarians, they don't look into the level of proteins, for example. I telling you this as a doctor, and they have anemia. And some cases of very heavy anemia we had with transfusion of blood. It means that Indian student got some portion of Russian blood in his vessels. And so on, many different pathology. I don't speak about tuberculosis or another lung pathology which can be defined during performing of rentgenological examination. We of course perform. It not means that something found and we tell him to go outside. You can go. It's I don't know, nodular foci in your lungs. You need to go. Of course no. Of course no. He will go through all medical checkup which are needful. After this diagnose, after this understanding, what is needful. When it's possible to treat here, everybody will be treated here. If it's not possible or it's long, student can go home. About clinics, you understood. Second, this is medical insurance. Because each student must have a policy of medical insurance. If he has this policy, he can get medical help in all clinics of our city. And as we perform the program, student after coming to the Russian Federation directly in Moscow get the policy. First of all, this is IT, electronic policy of medical insurance. After some time, insurance firm need to make paper document 2 or 3 months. After 2 or 3 months, a student get paper document of insurance policy. And it will work for 1 year. After 1 year, automatically prolongation of policy by insurance firm. That's why about this you need to think too. What else? What else? Medical problems, for example, fracture of the bone. When you will come as a foreign citizen, by insurance policy, surgical pathology, you will get surgical help without payment by the policy if this is acute pathology, acute guys. And I had one case with student during winter vacations. He went for the ski together with girls. He broke down on the street, on the ice, and he fractured his arm. But as a man, he don't show anything to girls and don't ask medical help. But after after 2 weeks, he came to me. His arm changed its structure. It was not lined. His bone was not lined. And he asked, sir, what I can make in this situation? What he can make, this is already consolidation of this fractured bone. This is not acute pathology. But even in this case, with direct working with hospital, with chief of the hospital, I asked director to help. I went together with student. We found the case, how to make operation to the student and perform everything needful. That's why in these cases, I can tell that you are in safe. You are in safe only in your hands in Nuremberg State Medical University if you study to ask medical help at proper time. This is only one thing. Some students, I can tell you, really afraid. For example, student came and he know that he has tuberculosis. What he waiting? That we will not find it? Of course we will. You coming for education from us. Yes, we trying to give you this experience, how to diagnose, how we can diagnose if we study, if we educate. Next, about saving. This is living rules. Living rules. When you will come, you will have some living rules. This is migration service, of course, rules. And in 2021, migration rules changed. And right now, each foreign citizen who will come to Russian Federation within 90 days after coming need to perform full medical checkup, including dactyloscopy examination of fingers, of fingerprint. If you will not perform within 90 days, you will have problems by migration service line. But in our university, we have migration department. On my faculty, I have special advisors for social work to whom I address this work with students, and they make help of the students and guide them in this process. That's why mostly everything going without problems. Right now we have more than 1,300 students from India. Imagine how big amount, how big percentage of problems can be, but we don't have. And even at this year, 10 students not performed. I can tell you this information. 10 students not performed this medical checkup and dactyloscopy by immigration rules. They were sent back because their visa was closed. But even in this case, university tried to help to the students. We worked together with embassy of Russian Federation and territory of Republic of India. And after 1 month, we opened new visa for students. We described all the situation because it was first time for the students. We described everything, why this happened. And the embassy opened a new 3 months visa for the students. After 3 months, this visa was prolonged on the territory of Russian Federation. Next thing, if you want to find some problems on the streets, you will. Everywhere. Even if city is very friendly, even if country is friendly, and so if you want, you will. But I need to tell you that, for example, Orenburg city, it's more than 280 years history of our city. And here, living right now, more than 300 of different nationalities. Imagine. More than 300 of different nationalities. This is a very big amount. And they're living friendly. In the center of our city, we have a special place. This is National Village. Different buildings of different nationalities. They have their own restaurants in these buildings. You can come, you can look to the culture of this nationality, to eat their national food and so on. That's why these conditions of international communication in our city is very good. But if you will, for example, go outside at the night, of course, you can find someone who, I don't know, after alcohol using, for example, or something else. That's why these rules you need to remember. At night, it's better to be in a hostel. At the daytime, on the classes, in the restaurants, in cafe, in cinema, everywhere where you want. I think in India, it's understandable. It's understandable. You have a little another regime, as I understood by my students. At night, they don't sleep, they sleep at the morning. And even it's very harmful to have a class from 8:30 until meridian. It's impossible. They come into me and telling, sir, it's impossible for us. Can we have class from 11? This is another thing. Another thing for safety of youngers. For example, your child will come to our university or to other university. He will study, but at home you made food by yourself. And your son or your daughter, they don't know how to. Even how to make chicken butter masala, for example. What they will do? They will eat chips and drink Coca-Cola. This is not good. That's why, for example, in one of the biggest buildings in which our students living, this is 9th floor hostel near biggest mall in our city, and some university campus near 200 meters of this building. At 9th floor, we have especially for students, Indian kitchen, a small Indian cafe, where students can have breakfast, dinner, supper, lunch by the program which they will choose. That's why I think that this is comfortable too for students. After second year, when they will have enough adaptation for adult life, and this is adult life when student not near his parents, they can make food by themselves because on each floor They have small kitchen where they can make the food by themselves. And what else in the questions of safety? For example, by cars, yes, our students like taxi. They like taxi, or they like to store the bus for whole group. That's why we're trying to place the students together by the group. When we divide students into groups, for example, these 17 students will be one group, and we try to place them in one building, because they can store the bus, small bus, and at morning they can go to the class together and come back from the class together. And it will be cheap for them, because they will divide the price of this bus for all of them. Same students making this taxi. 3-4 persons in one car, and this is dividing of the price of the car for all of the students. Other things, Dr. Pawan, I think that if someone have a question,
we have some questions.
They can ask.
There are some questions which have come. One is that there is a war going on in Russia, so is it safe to take admissions?
In Russia war is not going on, guys.
Yes.
No. I don't know what you can see on your TV, what you can hear on the radio, or you can find in internet. On territory of our country, war activity is not going on.
Yeah, so there is no war going on in Russia. There's a military operation being conducted by Russia and Ukrainian territory. There's nothing happening in Russia. Nothing is happening. Everything is safe, as the Honorable Dean has brought out, that in Russia everything is safe. There is no problem in Russia. Whatever is the problem, it is happening in Ukraine side, not in Russian side. It's a military operation. It's not a war. Second question is, where is Orenburg University? How far from the border is it safe?
You need to look on the map.
Yes.
About what border you are speaking. Border with Ukraine, we are very far. Very far. If you will look into the map, Delhi, Orenburg, and Moscow. We are in the center between Delhi and Moscow. It was a big surprise for me when I traveled first time in Delhi. From Orenburg, we traveled to Moscow, and from Moscow, we traveled to Delhi under Orenburg. That's why we are very far from this border about which you're asking. Very far.
Okay, now next question is that please suggest after 6-year course is needed to do internship 1 year extra in Russia or not?
I don't saw this question. When
it is given here, sir, please suggest after 6-year course.
After 6-year course, sir, please suggest after it's needed to do internship of extra 1 year in Russia. Oh no. But our curriculum, our syllabus of education, program of internship included in 5th and 6th clinical years. You have clinical rotation with different clinical practices in different clinics, and program of internship in these years already included. That's why you don't need extra 7th year after passing from our universities. I'm telling you right now, not only about Orenburg, I'm telling you about Russian Federation as it is.
Yes, so for all dear students, the internship is included in your 5 years and 8 months. They have clinical rotations in the starting from your 4th year onwards. So it is all inclusive. So you don't have to do anything extra after completion of your course. Other issue is, it's a political question. I don't think we need to address that question, but anyway, this is of any interest. Question, what about military coups like done by Wagner? There was no coup. So that is just some media playing up, and don't have to worry because there is no coup.
Because they came back already to their positions.
Yeah. Do we get any money while studying?
Get any money from whom?
You don't have to give.
I can tell you something about this question. If this is question about the work, they can work during education or no. Right now, as I told, migration rules changed. Migration order of the Russian Federation changed, and they written that they can work if they have educational visa. But officially, and someone who will give you this work, he need to make special documents for working of foreign citizens. Same, if I will come to India and I will want to work officially without any problems after, someone who will give place for me for work, he need to make special documents for giving the work for foreign citizen. And this work must be not at the time of education. And that's all. This extra money you can get if you will work.
Okay. So the next question is, shall we get any internship during vacations? If yes, then please guide us.
Yes. Years ago, our syllabus contained 5 different practices directly after first course, 1 practice, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And after first course, it was practice of sanitary worker of the clinic. We cut this type of the practice from our syllabus, and we started directly from Indian students, from foreigners. We spoke with rector, and I told that first of all, not only for foreigners where they coming and they making sanitary practice, for all students is not good. Someone who want to be in the future doctor, why he need to make practice by sanitary worker? That's why you will have 4 different practices. This is a practice of helper of medical sister. First, this is a practice of now we have polyclinic worker. This is hospital worker, yard worker, and last one practice which you need to pass in Russia. Only here. This is practice our 5th course. After 5th course, this is ambulance practice. Because this experience which you will get on the ambulance, this is very big memory and very big experience. You will be very skilled if you will perform this practice really. Because in India, of course you can come with document. Of course we have contracts. We have contract with Max super specialty hospitals, with Atlanta, MediWorld. We have, but document is document. How you perform this practice, this is another question. And here we can look, we can examine you, we can tell you, you don't know this, let's upgrade this black hole in your education. You need to learn this, need to perform this, and this, and after this, we will one time we'll look how you skilled in this question. That's why practices you will have, and small exam after practices you will have too.
So there will be various types of practices to which they will be exposed, like nurses and polyclinics. Also in laboratory practices, and
for example, as a doctor, after 4th year, right now we shift to the 6th year. This practice, as I told, because program of internship, as I told already, this is at 5th and 6th year. Practices of the doctor before ambulance. This is practice when you will work 2 weeks in therapeutic department, 2 weeks in surgical department, 2 weeks in obstetrics and gynecology department. Full day, full day from the morning till the evening, including night duties in these departments. And this is only special time, only for practice. And as a practice, you will have during classes. When you will come to hospital, to educational department, you will go to clinical department and you will work there. For example, your educational day, 4 hours on some department. From this 4 hours, you will be 2 hours together with teacher, 2 hours you can be with patient. One more time, it will depend on you, because some students will stay behind the spines of other students and will not work with patient. Because they're afraid, they don't want, they are lazy. But everyone who are in first line, he will work directly with patients. He will examine them, palpate, auscultate, make percussion, and so on. This is possible if you want. And another interesting thing, already some students who are very interested in medicine, they make friendship with my colleagues. They phone to me telling about the student that already, for example, 10 night duties he performed together with him, with chief of department of head and neck and oncological dispenser, one of our last year graduates. He worked with him for many days, and so on. I have different examples of this communication. That's why these doors are opened for you. If you want, you can come.
Another question, can I become a doctor in Russia after completion of MBBS course there?
Of course you can, after getting of diploma. No, first of all, first and great step and needful step for you to get diploma. You need to pass government examination after finishing of the 6th year. After this, if you passed and you got diploma, you can go to accreditation. Same as in India. Many years it was FMG. Right now it will be next examination. This is type of accreditation in your country. In our country, we have accreditation too. But this is not only MCQs, guys. MCQs, this is only first step of our accreditation. Second step, this is OSCE. This is as in Europe, OSCE, simulations. You will go through different simulations. And only after this, you can get accreditation as a doctor in Russian Federation. And you will get opportunity to work with patients by yourself in different clinics. I can tell you that, for example, from first graduation, 3 students decided to try to pass, and all of them passed. After this, last year, 2 students, they made families with Russians. One boy with Russian girl and one girl with Russian boy. He became a husband of Indian girl and she became a wife of Indian boy. A girl decided not to work because her Russian husband working. And the boy decided to work and he passed accreditation. That's why if you want, this is not very big amount. Not very big amount of graduates who want to stay in Russian Federation for working, but who want, they can.
They're asking, what is the passing percentage ratio of Orenburg in the foreign medical graduate examination in India?
Passing percentage. Okay, last year was one of the biggest persons. The statistic, this is women who can rotate to you by different sides. So one time this is very good statistic, other time this is very bad statistic. And we calculate, how we calculate, I will tell you. We will calculate, we have, for example, 140 graduates, yes? How many graduates will go to FMG examination? Last year it was more than 100 for first attempt. Imagine, very big amount, because for first attempt, the less amount of students going. And more than half of them passed. 51 persons, it was the passing percentage of last year graduation. This is very big amount, very big amount. You can find on MCI, NMC right now, on NMC site, statistic of Russian government universities about passing of FMG. And you can find some universities with 100% last year. But this is statistic, as I told to you. It was 2 graduates, 3 graduates, and all of them passed. That's why this is 100%. But if more than 100 students came and more than 50 from them passed, this is statistic, really.
Yes, I think there's a very high percentage of passing from Orenburg State Medical University. Last year we had 51%, and we are second attempt almost 80% pass. So
Yes.
we have a very good passing percentage from
But
Orenburg State.
Dr. Brown, we need to tell that not only that we are so good, our syllabus is so good, our teachers is perfect. This is multi-point thing. We're making MCI classes for students. We're asking our colleagues from India, together with Rus Education, to coming, and we are looking carefully who will come. This is good mentor, or middle, or not good will not come. At this year, we got by clinical medicine, by internal diseases, and by obstetrics and gynecology, one of the best teachers in India. Very good classes was made for students, and at this year we performed 5 different subjects by MCI preparation for different courses. That's why we're trying, as I told, to give maximally success to our graduates. And we look not only on our education. This is one thing. Role of university is to give clinical thinking to students. You need to understand clinical thinking. If student after passing is brilliant in theory, but don't know how to make different things, this is not doctor. If student is middle in theory and middle in clinical practice, this is already a person who can be a doctor. If it's bigger, this is brilliant. But even middle is enough. And role of university to give to everyone who are lazy, who are less amount in school by biology, physics, and mathematics. You know about what I'm speaking, yes, about 12th class mark sheet. Different percentages coming to us, different percentages by NEET examination coming to us. But we need to give material for everyone. We need to try to give clinical thinking for everyone. If it will be, he will work as a doctor, he will understand his role in medical society, how he needs to study by himself, and this is a very big thing. Education by teacher, this is one thing, this is very understandable, but education by yourself, this is not understandable. And we need to give this understanding, how it will work, because doctor need to educate all of his life, each day, yes, by himself.
It's learning on a daily basis, and self-learning is also equally important as learning during the classrooms. So does ranking matter choosing any medical university in Russia?
Yes, the ranking method works in our country. I can tell you, this is not last, what I remember. 2 years ago, by the list of Forbes, through all medical universities, top 100 of Russian Federation universities list 2 years ago. Different fields of working of universities. From them, 14 medical universities. We was on second place.
Yes. Orange
For
State
medical,
Medical
I mean for
second,
medical
medical.
universities, guys, I mean. From
The
medical
second,
university, we was on second place.
second place as per Forbes magazine. This was 2 years ago. And that still stands. I think by now it must have become first, we don't know.
Maybe.
They do fresh
maybe,
ranking, it might become.
Maybe.
Okay, Professor Anton, you have addressed the security issues very well. You have addressed the security issues pertaining to, there is no issue of any security as far as the current military operations are going on, because they're not happening in the Russian Federation territory. They're happening in the Ukrainian territory. So students are very safe. And I'm very happy to note that you have stated that in the universities, the student safety comes first always. So if in case of any such eventuality, the students will be kept safe by the university. It's a very good take-home message for all the parents and the students. Also, Orange State Medical University takes care of all aspects of your safety, whether it is your personal safety or it is your health safety. All those safety issues are taken care of by Orange State Medical University. So it is very encouraging to note that you have answered all the questions in a very free and frank manner and given absolutely correct information to the students and the parents. So thank you very much, Dr. Anton, for coming here, sparing your valuable time, even after a very, very gruesome 3-hour meeting that you had just before coming to us. We apologize to our audience that we started a bit late because we could not help it, as the professor was busy in another meeting in which only once that meeting got over, he could join us. So thank you very much, Professor Anton. Thank you, dear parents. Thank you, dear students, for being with us. We'll hold any more queries that come from your side. We will hold another sessions like this to address your queries. Thank you, Professor Anton.
Thank you.
And thank you, Priya, and thank you, dear parents and students. Jai Hind, Jai Rus.
Jai Hind, Jai Rus.